name's Lisa. I'd like to give you a tour today of my scrap room. As you'll see, this room is not just my scrap room. We have a 2-bedroom house, so I have to share my space with the guest bedroom. What you'll soon discover, though, hiding amongst all of this is a lot more scrapbooking stuff than what first appears. So now we're going to take a look at the linen closet. Except there are no linens in the linen closet. There used to be, but it got converted to a scrapbook closet quite a while ago. I have all of my 12 by 12 paper in this closet. It's either stored by collection with some of the embellishments, or eventually I break collections down and I store things by color in these stackable Sterilite drawers. And then I have a few papers in these envelopes. The stamps that I use the most are in these baskets labeled for each different one. They're handy to the work table. There are some stamps on the other side of the room. You'll see those in a few moments. And I have a few of the albums in process and miscellaneous things also in this closet. I wish I had about 3 of these closets because I just love them. But unfortunately, I only have the one. Now, the furniture that's in this room, I brought this from my parents' house. They actually bought it before I was born, so it was my bedroom suite all my life until eventually we bought different furniture for our master bedroom. This particular piece, this chest of drawers, has been everything over the years. I can remember when I was a little girl, I used to keep my doll clothes in this pull-down area, and in the 80s it was a great place to store sweater dresses. But now it's mixed media and all of my embossing powders. So it's great because it has this pull-down area here, and I can just pull things out and work with them and then close it back up. These big wide drawers are perfect for scrapbooking kinds of things. I created some dividers in this top drawer to hold my stencils. I've got my 6x6 stencils and 12x12. The dividers came from the Container Company, or Container Store rather. They're really meant for kitchen drawers, bathroom drawers, but they worked really well here also. And I've got a few things on top. Keep my cards just in a photo storage box, and then here's a really unelegant box for containing the rest of the cards and things. I finally did break down and make a little stand for my mist, and I have a blog post I know that goes with this, so anytime I have a blog post or video that goes with some of the storage, I'll link it up to this particular video. The rest of the drawers here are just for other supplies, like some of the mixed media, chipboard. The remaining drawers have some layouts and things that aren't ready to go into the albums yet. Let's look at some close-ups of the storage, where the paper storage is and the stamp baskets. And I cleaned up recently to do this video, so these baskets are a lot neater than they normally are. My stencils, and some mixed media and the embossing powders. Now, the bed is one of the few things in the room that stayed guest room. I do use it a little bit when I'm working at my work table. I'll turn around here and lay things on the bed, things that are ready to be put back in one of the drawers or cabinets. And if I'm doing a big project, I'll lay out some things on the bed to kind of stage it. But otherwise, I try to keep it clean, try to keep most of the stuff off of it. And definitely the underbed storage is not scrapbooking related. In fact, that's where the linens went, in boxes under the bed. So now let's look at the rest of the storage in the room. Another piece of the furniture that came from the room is this chest of drawers, and it also has those really wide drawers. The top one being for punches, and I keep my Cricut mats in here since this is where the Cricut is. I also have a drawer for printer supplies. And one of my favorite drawers in the entire room is this one. It's for thicker storage. A few years ago I had my thickers in a vertical file, you know, like about this big. Well, I outgrew that in a hurry. So the thickers are all in here by color, and eventually I'm going to run out of room there, and I'm going to have to probably tone down the stash a little bit. And like anybody, I've I've got X amount of space, so I have to move things out when I don't have room for them anymore. And these two large drawers are the rest of my stamps. Above one of the pieces of furniture in the room, I have a little shelf for holding my scrapbook pages. And what this shelf is made out of is just a piece of crown molding that I bought at Lowe's, and I flipped it upside down, really. So this bottom edge here is actually what would go on the top of the ceiling if it were really going around a ceiling, but I just flipped it over and then used the grooves to hold my pages. So I can put up to 5 or 6 layouts on this the length that I have it. And the way I attached it to the wall is I just drilled a hole through it and countersunk a screw in there and filled it with some wood putty and then painted over the top. So, and when the layouts are there, you really can't see that. The only furniture that I've added to the room in recent years is this trunk, and it really wasn't so much to hold things in the trunk. I don't think there was anything scrapbook related in that trunk, but what's on top of the trunk is where I keep projects that are in process, like art projects, and I also have all my 6x6 paper pads. I keep those in these page protectors, old 8.5 by 11 page protectors, and that way I can see the pad and the scrap papers that are in there. I do have one other closet in the room. I've showed this closet on video before because this is all my cardstock. I have a lot of cardstock. I have Stampin' Up! And Paper Tray ink, and then some other odds and ends and cardstocks. It's also a great place, and they're all in the Sterilite drawers that stack. And I have a separate video, again, that I'll link to this. This is also a great place to hold my large Cricut mats. I realize I have a little extra room here on the back of these doors that I could put some more things, so I have a little bit of room to grow. These doors are actually shutters, I believe. The builder needed something to deal with these low ceilings, so I think he used shutters there. Well, the real workhorse of this room is this work table. My husband and I built it. He's very good at constructing things. He did the table, and he did this setup here for my video camera, which I realize I've never painted. But anyway, he's really good at figuring out how to make things work like that. He does pinball machine repair and sales, and so those skills kind of cross over. The table, the idea behind this was that we were just transitioning from more of a guest room to a scrap room. And I still wanted a setup where I could make it look like a guest room and I could kind of hide everything. So we built a table with a wood top, we upholstered it, and I have Velcro on the underneath side where I have these skirts, one on each end, and then I have a skirt that can go across the middle. So I can conceal my pull-outs here, and I could put other things underneath it when we had guests. I think I've put that skirt on maybe one time in the last 3 years, because really everybody knows I scrapbook and we just don't have guests more than once or twice a year. So that's not really what the room is designed for anymore, but it still looks nice and it works nice because it's a real sturdy table, and since we custom built it, we made it fit between these doorways here. The shelves on the top, I did those, and that's one area where I kind of wish I'd splurged and gotten those professionally done, but they serve the purpose for holding the markers and these cups and all the ribbon and different tools there. And I'll show you some close-ups of these in a few moments. Underneath, I have these rolling bins for my stamp supplies. And also over here is one for all of my embellishments. Soft embellishments, washi tape, and then things like wood veneer and brads, the harder embellishments down there in the bottom. I use an end table for my cutting table, and when we do have guests, this is one of the things that gets moved. It goes over next to the bed where it belongs, but for the most of the time it serves as a cutting table and a place for additional tools. Do some close-ups of the work table, the things that are on the work table. I used an old cassette deck for holding some inks. I've had this little pull-out thing. This was designed for, I think, auto parts. I got it at Sears years ago, but you can get them at Walmart. In fact, that might be my Walmart one, and my Sears one might be downstairs in my sewing room. I don't remember. I have a place to hang all of my little templates for the different colors of ink and cardstock and whatnot that I have. And my ribbon is still in jars. I don't use ribbon as much as I used to, but it's pretty and it's handy there. And then of course I have the Stampin' Up! Ink carousel. So this is the majority of the scrapbooking stuff, but there is one area left where I've added a little bit of storage. So if you'll come with me, I'll show you that space. One of the nice features of this bedroom is that it has an attached bath. So I have a sink for cleaning up my stencils and paintbrushes and things. And there's also this huge cabinet. And I remember when we were building the house, I came home one day and my builder and I were both amazed that the cabinet maker would put this enormous cabinet in all the way up to the ceiling for a medicine chest. Well, 20 years later, I finally found a good use for it. It's now where I keep my paint and my other mixed media supplies. I took up mixed media last year, and I had paint, and it was in that pull down where the embossing powders are. But my supplies have grown, and I needed a little more room, and keeping them in here in the bathroom near the sink seemed to make sense. So I've tried to utilize my space the best I can. So thanks for taking a tour of my scrap room / guest bedroom, and I hope while you're here on my channel you'll take a look at some of my other videos, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Thank you.